Oh, hi. Welcome back to my channel. This is Kamai, and this is AKamaiChats. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different from the content that we have been producing before. And we are going to talk about my agency, which is Alpha Tango Marketing. We are a full service advertising and marketing agency. We help everyone from traditional solutions like TV, radio, billboards to all of the digital solutions, which could be anything from social media to geo-targeting to digital display, and anything you see online on your mobile or on your desktop. We can do all of those things. And how we decide what to suggest to our clients depends on a few things. So it depends on your industry, it depends on your budget, and it depends on your goals. So we need to know about all of these things before we can make any kind of recommendation. So today I'm going to talk about new businesses, because new businesses have a very particular type of challenge in that most of their capital has been used or is tied up in the launch of their business. If they have a brick and mortar, they need to have all the office things and, inventory, or, and then they got to staff up, and, they've got to do all those kind of things, and in-house marketing like signage and, points of purchase and all those kind of things. So their money really is tied up. So I tell people, you can either pay in time or money. You pick. Right? If you don't have the money to do it, well, then you're going to have to put in the time to do it, because you've got to pay somebody else to make the time to do it. Right? So I'm going to be speaking specifically about that. And for new businesses that don't have the money, there's going to be resources. I'm going to be making some videos and putting some training tools onto my website so that I can refer people like, hey, go to my website and download this instructional video, or go download this. I have a free download on how to set up your Facebook page or whatever. So the basic things for a brand new business, and like bar none, aside from opening your business and your checking account and all those things, you need to have business cards, because even in today's digital world, we still need to have, it's nice to have a physical thing to hand somebody instead of just tossing them, like, oh, scan my Square card so you can download all my information to your phone. If I have to look through the 1,000 people that's in my phone, I'm never going to find you. So you need to have business cards. You need to have a website. You need to have a Google business page. Now, Google My Business now has, if you have a brick and mortar physical location that customers can visit, or if you have a home office where you don't have customers to visit, they can still put you on the map with a general vicinity of where you're at, because, you don't want strangers knocking on your door going, hey, I need something. So you just Google my business, set that up. You can do your LinkedIn page. All these things are like basic stuff. So how do you set that up, right? So I'm going to have some tools and some instructional things attached to my website so that people can download these things and do it themselves, or have their assistant set up all their pages and all that. So these are like the basic things that you need to have in order to be found online. Okay. So based on that information, we find out what their goals are, and we learn about their industry. And I've been working for a long time in this business. So, there's very few businesses that I have not worked with. I even worked with a golf course, believe it or not, like small itty bitty, like an ice cream manufacturer, I had 2 ice cream manufacturers, in fact. So, we worked with all kinds of businesses, but, just learning about the type of business they're in, that's, aside from the fact that I know how businesses run, I know how businesses need to make money, and I understand about overhead, and I understand about return on investment. Now, when you work with me or your clients work with me, return on investment is very important, but there's different ways to measure the success of a campaign, because when you're brand new and nobody knows about you, there's a learning process. So we have to work with the client, and they have to understand the money that you spend in the beginning is just going to be an investment in your business. You can't, like, nobody knows you. You spend $500 and then you expect people to be knocking down your door. It doesn't work that way. This is an educational process. You have to teach them about, first of all, that you are in business, who you are, what you do, and why they should do business with you, why you are different from your competition. That's an educational process that takes a while, right? So it can take a few months before people kind of get the idea like, hey, yeah, these guys sound pretty good. Let me learn more. So when they say, let me learn more, they're going to go check out all of your social media accounts. They're going to want to check your website. They're going to want to check your Google My Business to see what kind of reviews you have. So when I work with a new business, we really have to have those conversations about education and making yourself what is different about you. If you don't know what is different about you, you need to find something that is different about you, because otherwise you're just going to be in the whole sea of CPAs, like you're all the same, right? Why should I do business with one as opposed to another? And unless you're like my brother-in-law's best friend, there's not a reason to work with you, right? So you've got to determine that. And so those are kind of the beginning steps. And then I work with my new clients consistently, even with my existing clients. I call them and, did you have calls this week? Did you have customers this week? And my job as the advertising agency, as the advertising mechanism, is to put people in front of you. So, and that's an important thing that you need to understand too, is my job is to deliver the right customers. Your job is to make sure that they do business with you. That's your job, right? I didn't make any sales this week. Did you have people in your store? Did you have bodies come in? So if you had some influx of customers, that's an indication that your marketing is working. If you see an increase in calls, that's an indication that your marketing is working, right? If you can sell more, like if you have more people coming in, and it's a law of numbers, the more people that come in, the better the chances of you making some business, closing some business, getting a new client. So return on investment doesn't always mean like, oh, I want my customer acquisition cost to be below $7. If you've been in business a long time and you've been advertising for a long time, yeah, that's a different conversation. But if you have not been in business for a long time, people are not going to know about you. So I'll tell you a really quick story about a client that I had back home in Hawaii. They were a attic fan company. Now in Hawaii, we don't have, not everybody has central air conditioning. You guys just call it AC or HVAC. We call it central air because regular air is like you put the air conditioner inside the window. That's air conditioning. It's not that big unit kind of thing. So people, they needed to learn about what is an attic fan, and not everybody had an attic, like a lot of the houses are open beam. So how are you gonna do that? Well, those houses actually are not qualified for that type of air conditioning. So we had to spend a good 3 to 4 months just educating the public on what it is that they did. And then after that 4th month, they started seeing a rapid increase in phone calls because they talked about, what they do and why they're better and why you should choose them. So those are some important conversations that we have with our clients. And part of the beginning process with the relationship with the client for me is building trust, building relationship, and getting to know them and educating the client on how we should move forward, and really getting them to understand that it takes time, right? So a new client would be a great referral for me, not because they can have some money to spend right away, but if you nurture the client and you spend time with them and you help them, because I am willing to give people free advice. I don't mind sharing what I know, sharing my experience and my knowledge, because it always pays to do the right thing. So if you help them along the way when they're ready, the hope is that they will call you when they are ready to spend some money. So you build relationship, not because what I'm going to get out of you, but how I can help you possibly in the future. And then 9 times out of 10, you end up with a new friend. So that's it for me today. My name is AKamai, and this is AKamaiChats. I would really appreciate all of you to take out your phones right now and look up my channel, AKamaiChats, on YouTube, and please subscribe and follow me. I'm going to be doing chats on like what kind of businesses for people, small businesses people can open, how to transition from a career to a business, or how to transition from retirement into a small business. So those are all the kind of things that we talk about here at AKamaiChats. And I will be interviewing a lot of my clients and a lot of my network associates to tell their story, share their story about how they, transitioned into their business. I have a lot of really interesting people in my chapter. One day, hopefully you can meet them. Okay, anyway, my name is Annie Kamai, and this is AKamaiChats. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and we will see you soon. Bye.